Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's story, I'll be sharing with you guys how I made this beautiful high-low 360-degree flare. It is very simple, and if this is what you're interested in learning, please keep on watching. I'll be making use of 2.5 yards of Ankara print for this tutorial and also 2.5 yards of lining. I also have 1.5 yard of fusible interface. What I have right here is the lightest type of it. You can make use of the peplum stay if you want it to stand really good. Now I'm going to fold my Ankara print into 4. Now first of all, I'm going to fold into 2 and again fold into 4. Now for you to fold and not waste your fabric, you are going to make use of this calculation and it works perfectly well. Okay, so what you want to do is measure the round circumference of wherever you want your peplum to stay. And as you can see, our peplum is right on the waist. So the round circumference of our waist here is 48 inches. Now this peplum is going to be attached to the upper parts, which is the bodies, okay? And that bodies also comes with a zipper allowance. Now I'll be needing zipper allowance of 2 inches, and this will sum it up to 50 inches. Now because this is a 360-degree flare, which means this is a full flare, we are going to be dividing it by 6.28, which is constant on finding out the radius of a circle. Now what you want to do is go ahead and divide this 50 by 6.28. Okay, so as you can see right on top the table, I have my radius equals waist divided by 6.28. Now our waist is known, which is 50, and then the constant is 6.28. So when you divide this 50 by 6.28, we are going to be having 7.9. Okay, this means that our radius is going to be 7.9. Now the length of peplum I'm going to be cutting out is 13 inches. So what I'm going to do now is to plus this 13 inches with the 7.9 inches radius. Okay, so that means 13 plus 7.9, I'm going to be having 20.9 inches. So what this means is, for me to fold my fabric, I'm going to ensure that the width is 20.9 inches and the height is also 20.9 inches. I hope you guys understand. So I'm going to measure what I have here so that you guys can fully see what I mean. Okay, now as you can see, from the edge to the other parts, I have 21 inches, which is more than 20 inches. Okay, so that is fine. And to this other side, I have 22 inches or thereabouts, which is also fine. And you guys, once you're okay with the fold that you have, go ahead and place your tape on the folded part of your fabric just like this, and you're going to ensure that the tape remains right on that point, and then mark out your radius. Okay, so remember our radius is 7.9 inches. I'm going to keep rotating it until I get to the other end, as you can see me doing like this. Now that I'm done rotating it, I'm going to go ahead and connect the points. So here comes our circumference of the peplum. Okay, so guys, right now what you want to go ahead and mark out again is the length of the peplum. Okay, now this is not the usual peplum, our usual peplum that is always equal. Remember, this is a high-low peplum. So what I want to do is go ahead and place my tape on this end of the fabric, and I'm going to mark the longest part of the peplum, which is the 13 inches. Okay, remember 13 inches is the length of the peplum that we want. Now I'm going to add 1 inch for sewing allowance. We need half an inch to join the circumference to the upper part, and then we need half an inch to turn the hemline. Now I'm going to leave the middle of the peplum and then I would minus 5 inches from this 13 inches, and then I'm going to mark it on the other end of the fabric just like this, and equally add 1 inch for sewing allowance. Now I'm going to freehandly connect these 2 points together, and you guys, that is it. This is exactly how to get your high-low peplum, which the front remains longer than the side. Okay, so what this means is the front and the back is equal and the sides are equal, but this time around the sides are shorter than the front. Okay, so as you can see, I went ahead to cut out the circumference of the waistline and then the hemline. So guys, as you can see, we are done with this, and remember we actually cut out both the lining and the actual piece together. So I'm going to go ahead and remove my pins and raise it up for you guys to see. Okay, this made it very easy for me cutting out both the lining and the actual piece together. So if I open it up, this is what we have. Now if you know that this is going to confuse you, what you want to do is notch the edges before you open it up. Okay, but actually you don't have anything to worry because the peplums are not equal. You have the front part of it longer than the sides. Okay, so guys, I'm just trying to arrange this so that you guys can see what we have right here. So you can see, and this is what it should look like. Now I'm going to go ahead and open up the lining piece, then notch it so that you guys can understand what I mean. So you can see I'm trying to notch the side, which I just explained, and open it up just like this. So with that, I'm going to know the part that is going to the front and the part which is going to be on the zipper allowance. Okay, so guys, now I'm going to go fusing this fusible interface into the lining piece and the actual piece. I am done with that. So this is the actual piece, and then I'm going to bring in the lining so that you guys can see what it looks like. Okay, so it is very simple. What you have to do is move over to your ironing table and then place it around the peplum. You can see what I have right there. So guys, now I'm going to open up the actual piece, and then I'm going to be placing the lining on top of it, ensuring that the right sides of these both fabrics are facing one another. Okay, now I'm going to ensure that the circumference, which is the radius, are also aligning properly with each other, and then I'll be making use of my pins to hold them down in place. So if you know you are able to sew without pinning, you can actually sew this all around without pinning up. Okay, but for the sake of this tutorial, I want to show you guys what to do to make sure that you are in a safer place. Okay, so you can see what I am doing, and then you are equally going to ensure that the hems aligns properly well, and then move over to your sewing machine, stitch all around it using 1/2 inch, as you can see me showing you like this. So guys, after I was done sewing both the lining and the actual piece together, you can see this is what we have. And see, this is the longer part and the sides are shorter. Okay, now remember we haven't opened the zipper allowance. This is still a full flare. Okay, now we need to open up one part so that we can have our zipper allowance. Okay, which is the side that is going to go into the zipper allowance, and that part is definitely the longer part of this peplum. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fold into two so that I will determine the middle part and then cut it out. Now if you want to cut, make sure that you are slashing just one part. Okay, so when I open it, you can see what I have. Now this part is going to go into the zipper allowance, and the other longer part is going to be at the front. I hope you guys understand. Now if you want, you can leave this way and weave it with your weaving machine, but for me, I'm going to loosen it up so that I will attain neat finishing. Okay, so after I loosen it up, I'm going to ensure that the right side of the fabric faces the right side of the lining, and I'm going to stitch using 1/2 inch. I will equally do the same thing to the other parts, as you can see me showing you. So I'm going to go stitch both sides with 1/2 inch on my sewing machine, and after I was done, you guys, this is what I have. Now it's time for us to go place this into the upper part of our blouse. Okay, and we are done. So once I am done placing it into the upper part, I will show you guys what our peplum looks like. So guys, this is what we have at the end of the day. I hope you guys find this video helpful. If you do, please do make sure to give it a thumbs up. Share this video to get more people to see it. I will see you in my next one.